We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And again, it's Chubb. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Second down, here's Chubb again. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Now it's Watson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Newton to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Newton. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Returnable for Grant. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Watson off play action. Rolling to his right. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Browns had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road, but now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. Touchdown, Browns. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Play action. It's Newton. They'll roll him out right. His throw incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treat it as such.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw, Newton. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Watson now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they'd built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 4. They could still get a 1st down without scoring. They run it again with Chubb, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On 1st and 10, Newton. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Cam's throw going to be caught by Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Newton. This is intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And now a hook up downfield on second down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. And Chubb will try the middle here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
They'll run with Chubb. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Chubb trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Browns take a 3-touchdown lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Newton. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. A give to the fullback on the dive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, you might want to get out of the way.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hall again on second down.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
121 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A give. This is Chubb. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes now. Here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down. They'll have to throw it anyway.
He's going to be marked down very close to the first down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
We have played 3 quarters. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Newton. Caught. It's Wilson.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now this one complete to Corey Davis. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Newton.
And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Newton. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. There's going to be a jet sweep. Newton bats it forward. He will push his way down to about the 14.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Second and 8 coming up. Here's the option going right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And it'll be intercepted. John Johnson with he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
It's caught at the 1.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
174 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Chubb will get the call running left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Bryce Hall there defensively.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Second and 5.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And down inside the 15 he goes. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball.
You're handing
out multiple. Although I set you up by saying game balls plural, but I
like where we're going with this though. You say one to represent like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for the Browns, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.